Canada, a vast land of snowy mountains, sparkling lakes, and a rapidly changing people. But Canada wasn't always one country. It started with two different groups, the French and the English. They came to this new world seeking a fresh start, a chance to build something new. The French arrived first, settling along the St. Lawrence River. They called their colony New France. The English later established themselves further south along the Atlantic coast. These two groups, though both of European descent, brought with them very distinct ways of life. They spoke different languages, practiced different customs, and had different ideas about how society should be run. This led to a unique situation. Two distinct societies growing within the same geographical space. It wasn't always easy. There were conflicts and disagreements. But over time, a sense of shared destiny began to emerge. It's important to understand that both the French and the English came from a similar racial background, Caucasian Europeans. However, their ethnicity and culture were worlds apart. The French were known for their Catholic faith, their love of language and art, and their close ties to their homeland. They carved out a life in the fur trade, befriending and partnering with indigenous peoples. The English, on the other hand, were predominantly Protestant. They focused on agriculture and industry. Their communities were often more self-sufficient, with less reliance on the crown. While there were certainly interactions and even conflicts between these two groups, for the most part, they lived separately. Each group held on to their own traditions and ways of life. This separation formed the bedrock of Canada's unique social fabric. How did the French and English manage to share a land as vast as Canada? They essentially lived in separate communities. Each group elected its own leaders who represented their interests and values. The French had their own laws and customs in New France, while the English did the same in their colonies. This system wasn't perfect, of course. There were tensions and disagreements. But for a long time, it allowed the French and English to coexist. Think of it like roommates sharing an apartment. They might have different schedules, different tastes in music, and different ways of doing things. But as long as they respect each other's space and find common ground, they can live together peacefully. This living apart together approach formed the basis of Canada's unique form of government, a federal system where provinces have significant autonomy. Section 4. The urge to belong. For centuries, humans have been driven by a fundamental need to belong. This need for belonging extends beyond individual relationships to encompass a sense of shared identity within a group, a community, a nation. We crave the security and comfort of knowing we are part of something larger than ourselves. This innate desire for belonging is deeply intertwined with the concept of territory. Throughout history, humans have formed strong attachments to the land they inhabit. This connection to the land, to a specific territory, becomes a powerful symbol of shared identity and belonging. This connection is deeply rooted in our evolutionary past. Just as a pack of wolves will defend its territory to ensure its survival, humans too have long understood the importance of controlling land and resources. This territoriality is not inherently about aggression. It's about securing the resources and stability necessary for a group to thrive. This deep-seated connection between identity, belonging, and territory plays a crucial role in understanding the challenges and triumphs of building a unified nation. Section 5. A mosaic of cultures. Over time, Canada changed. The country opened its doors to immigrants from all over the world. People arrived from Asia, Africa, South America, and beyond, each bringing their own unique cultures, languages, and traditions. Canada was no longer just a land of French and English. It had become a vibrant mosaic of cultures. This shift brought new challenges. How could a country with so many different groups maintain its unity? How could it ensure that everyone felt like they belonged, regardless of their background? These questions are at the heart of Canada's ongoing journey as a nation. Section 6. Unity in diversity. This influx of new cultures and backgrounds has undeniably impacted Canada's social and political landscape. The country faces the ongoing challenge of balancing the preservation of its distinct French and English heritage with the integration of its newer communities. Maintaining political unity requires navigating diverse perspectives and priorities. Issues like language rights, religious accommodation, and cultural representation are constantly debated. However, The concept of unity and diversity, while celebrated, presents numerous challenges. Different cultures, languages, and traditions can sometimes create barriers rather than bridges. The journey towards true unity requires understanding, patience, and a willingness to embrace differences. It's a path filled with obstacles, but also opportunities for growth and mutual respect. Section 7 Lessons from the Great White North. So what challenges does Canada's story reveal? One significant challenge is that unity doesn't come easily amidst diversity. It doesn't mean everyone will always agree or see things the same way. True unity requires ongoing effort, respect for differences, and a commitment to finding common ground. It's about striving to build a society where everyone feels like they belong, despite the challenges. This is the ongoing struggle of Canada, and it's a story still being written.